Hello. So, another week of school is upon us, another week of virtual school. And to get us started for reading, I have my singing bowl. I had a request from someone. So, as I give it three nice thwacks, as I like to say, close your eyes if you like, settle into a comfortable place, make sure that you're somewhere that you can really pay good attention to the story and where you can be your best learner. So I'll give you a second to get to where you need to be and let's begin. And now for the story. So, we left off midway through chapter 12, titled What About the Electric Chair? This is Tuesday, January 8th, 1935. They were having a conversation about the shiv. Like I said, somebody sliced up a guy, maybe killed him. I have no idea what I'm talking about now. That's the thing about the cell house library, I say. It's a high-risk operation. Really, a girl asks. Books are overdue, I explain. They lock you up. They have a special cell for it. Overdue library book cell. If it's more than 10 days overdue, they put you in the hole. Solitary confinement. No kidding, the fat kid asks. I can see him fingering his library book, which I'm guessing is past due. Oh yeah, I say, I'm starting to enjoy myself. And you should see what happens when you forget to say please. Bread and water for an entire week. Forget thank you, and it's even worse. Oh, come on, somebody says. Forget to wash your hands before supper? They slap you in leg irons. Prison is a bad place, I'm telling you. Scout is biting his lip, trying not to laugh. Most everyone knows I'm kidding, but one girl isn't too sure. On the other hand, I say, we have the politest felons in America. They say please, thank you, pardon, and excuse me. If you're going to be robbed or murdered, you really want a polite guy to do it. Somebody who offers you a chair and some milk and cookies first. It's kind of like being shot by your grandmother. Who wouldn't prefer that? You must learn a lot living there, a skinny girl says. She's taking in my every word. Oh yeah, on weekends there are special classes the cons teach us. You learn how to blow safes, make silencers, steal cars. Thieves' school, we call it. Homework's tough, though. Ever tried to get a dead body in a rumble seat? Everyone laughs. They all know I'm kidding now. Then the bell rings, thank God, because I'm out of stories. I look around and see Dell has disappeared. He comes back a few minutes later with his sweater on, but nothing but bearskin underneath. He rolls his shirt up and hands it to Piper, who's busy talking to Scout, sign in hand. When we are all settled in our seats, Miss Bimp starts rattling on about the importance of good posture and how no cultivated lady or gentleman would dream of slumping during oral reports the way certain members of the class are doing. She's just getting warmed up when the notes start appearing. How about tomorrow? One pencil-rolled scrap of paper asks. No, only today, Piper writes back in her back-slanted cursive. How much for socks, another says. 2 cents, Piper writes back. Will my blouse come back bloody? My mom will kill me if I ruin my blouse. No. Can you advance me a nickel? No. Please? The note comes back again, this time written in pencil, grinding, capital letters. No, Piper scribbles mercilessly. When class ends, 2 lines form outside the bathrooms. One by one, Miss Bimp's students come out, sweaters over bare chests, shoes with no socks, jumpers with no shirts underneath. I watch from a distance as they hand Piper their clothes and their money. Please, Piper, I can't take off my dress. Can't I bring something tomorrow? Penelope begs Piper. I'm sorry, Piper explains. She rolls her lips together and shakes her head. Our arrangements simply won't allow that kind of flexibility. She looks really sorry, too, as if she would change the rules in a second if only she could. The girl marches off to the bathroom and returns, slip in hand. Can't do it. Too, personal, Piper tells the girl, whose face is now as red as her hair. At the end of the day, I see 2 8th-grade guys walking home bare-chested, shivering in the gray, foggy afternoon. Piper limited her sales efforts to the 7th grade class, but probably they had a friend in the 7th grade sends their clothes in. I'll bet Piper got twice as many 8th grade kids this way. I have to admit, Piper's pretty smart, but she's going to get in trouble for this. I just know it. Chapter 13, One Woman Commando Unit. Wednesday, January 9th, 1935. I hear something funny when I get up in the morning, and when I go outside, I find Piper stuffing extra clothes in our laundry bags. What are you doing? I ask her. What does it look like? You won't help. What am I supposed to do? You're just lucky that I caught you and not my mom or dad, I say. Just as soon as this is out of my mouth, I'm sorry I said it. It sounds pretty lame. I'm lucky, huh? She smiles, so pleased with herself she could hardly stand it. I guess that means you won't tell. My ears are hot. I feel big and stupid, and I don't know what to say. So I go back inside, hoping someone else will catch her. While I'm in the bathroom looking for my toothbrush, my mom corners me. Moose, honey, she says, I have some good news for you. She's smiling like she wants something. Things are going to change around here. My mom takes a lock of hair that's supposed to be on one side of my part and puts it on the other. Mom, I raise my eyebrows. Sometimes she needs reminding that I'm not 5 anymore. She smiles and nods her head as if she understands she's made a mistake, then gives me a once-over. Have you grown out of your trousers? I look down at my feet. A good 4 inches of sock are showing. Go put your other ones on, the brown ones, my mom says. I go in my room, happy to have an excuse to put a door between us. I met with Carrie Kelly yesterday, my mom calls through the door. Oh? She says we need to do a clean sweep. Throw away Natalie's button box. There'll be no more counting for her, no more obsessions. My gut tightens. I come out with the brown corduroys on. Mom, I squeeze the word out of my throat. Mrs. Kelly said, we can't let ourselves get in Natalie's way. She says we're the stumbling block. If Natalie's going to change, we have to change first. I blow air out of my mouth like I'm whistling with no sound. So now it's our fault? Moose, my mom insists. You know what I mean. You only met with her once, Mom. Did you even meet Natalie? Did she even meet Natalie? Of course, she spent all afternoon with her, my mom says. And then natters on about how Nat's not supposed to count, not supposed to rock, not supposed to play with her buttons, not supposed to do anything she actually likes to do. Yes, ma'am, I say, searching the medicine cabinet for my toothbrush. Then I figure out where it is. Natalie. My mom follows me as I march into Natalie's room. Nat isn't here. My father has taken her out to the parade grounds to give my mom a break. Yep, here's my toothbrush. Natalie has stacks of buttons in perfect lines all around it, like little soldiers guarding something precious. I reach for my toothbrush, but I can't make myself disturb her perfect button world. Well, actually, my mother's voice has softened. There's a Weedle in it now. I freeze, my hand on Nat's door. This involves you. I've lined up some piano lessons to teach in the city. The warden is very well connected, and he was kind enough to introduce me to a number of families who were looking for a piano teacher. We need the money, Moose. Carrie Kelly costs a small fortune, and so does Esther P. Marinoff. So, I'll need you to come straight home from school. I have to be on the 4 o'clock boat, and that is probably cutting it too close. She shakes her head and bites her bottom lip. I'm supposed to watch Natalie? Mrs. Kelly says you can take her with you wherever you go, just like any other sister. This stops me. I face my mom. Mom, nobody takes his sister with him everywhere he goes. My mom's shoulders hunch down, and a little excitement drains out of her face. Well, they could, she says. I stare at her, suspicious now. What do you mean, wherever I go? I ask, waving the tooth powder at her. Wherever you go. Mom, it's dangerous. You're the one who's always telling me how. That's what I mean. My mother's all excited again. I'm back in the bathroom, mixing the tooth powder and water in the palm of my hand. My mom has followed me. Her eyes are shining and she's smiling at the end of every sentence. That's what's changing. Mrs. Kelly says, this is just what Natalie needs. We need to help Natalie join the human race. Mom, I brush my teeth with my finger. We live on an island with 278 murderers, kidnappers, thieves. Maybe this isn't the exact part of the human race we want her to join. Funny you should mention this, because I was talking to Beatrixel about this yesterday. And you know what she said? She said we're lucky to live here because Alcatraz is a lot safer than any neighborhood in San Francisco. She says she never locks her door. She never has to. Our bad guys are all locked up. You know how your dad's always saying the ratio of inmate to guard is 3-1 here compared to 10-1 at San Quentin, which makes Alcatraz a much safer prison. And in the city, Oh, great, I mutter as I make a cup with my hands and run water into it and then rinse the tooth powder out of my mouth. It's safer than San Quentin, the second worst prison in the state. And in the city, my mother says this louder as if to drown out my comment. Beatrixel says those criminals are out free. Does the warden even know Natalie's here, or does he still think she's at Esther P. Marinoff? Of course he knows, Moose, but that doesn't mean I want you to parade her around in front of him. I won't lie to you, he isn't wild about the idea of her living here. Then she should stay inside. Don't be silly. You don't need to hide. Go about your business like you would if Nat wasn't with you. Just don't go looking for the warden, all right? Natalie doesn't know how to swim, Mom. What if she falls in? Well, we do have to be careful of that, but I don't want you near the water either. Anything that's not safe for Natalie is not safe for you. And if you really think it's so dangerous here, Moose, then we should move back home. Good idea, I say, my voice low and hard. Good idea, I say, my voice low and hard. Moose, my mom's eyes are like the lit end of a cigarette burning into me. Then I remember baseball. You don't mean every day? Yes, I do. Well, I can't Monday. I'm playing baseball after school. She sighs. I have lessons scheduled for Monday, Moose, but I have nothing for Tuesday. What do you say I try to keep that day free for you? Monday is when they play, Mom, not Tuesday, Scout said. Well, ask this Scout person to play on Tuesday. I hardly know the guy. How am I supposed to get him to put together a whole game just for me? Ask him, that's how my mom says, and then softens. Look, I know this isn't easy for you. I know you'd rather not have any responsibilities, but the fact is you do. If you play baseball in Alcatraz, you can play every day. Almost no one plays here. Graham doesn't live down the street anymore, honey, my mom sighs. We can't do this without you. Being around kids is good for Natalie. Mrs. Kelly says so. And if she's to get accepted to the Esther P. Marinoff, my mom is like a one-woman commando unit. She could win land battles, air battles, water battles, outer space battles too, probably. I wonder if there would be time to get Natalie and then get back to school in time to play baseball with the guys. It would be embarrassing to have her there, but at least I could play. Could I take her to San Francisco, I ask? No. Why not? I just said it isn't safe there. It isn't safe there, but it's safe here, crammed right up close with America's worst criminals? We've been through this already, Moose. How long will you be gone, I ask. Even when I'm here, you'll need to take her outside with you, Moose. What kind of kid experience is she going to have following me around? She can't mean this. Please tell me she didn't say this. Moose. My mom reaches for my chin again and tips my face towards her. I need you. Your dad needs you, and Natalie needs you most of all. Let's give this a try, shall we? Let's just see how it goes. I pull my head away and walk toward my room. What if I don't want to see how it goes? What if I've been seeing how it goes my whole life? I whisper. Tuesday. See if Scout can play on Tuesday. Is that too much to ask? Chapter 14 is called Al Capone's Baseball. So that does it for the reading this week. I look forward to hearing your responses. Have a wonderful week.